Good evening, Go Mode Podcast fans. We are here with another exciting Week 6 race between, my apologies, between Extreme Rando and Jabira. Race mode is still Week 6, so we are still playing Standard. I am Furious Prince 97, joined in the booth today by Scatsman and Fernap on the buttons. Scats, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, and a big thank you to Limp Bagel for putting on the restream. What are your thoughts going into this? This is our last day for the mentored portion, the Swiss brackets portion, before we get into brackets. And I'm excited to see kind of some of these actually matter for placement, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, we're gonna see some very exciting races with these last couple. We have, I think, 2 races between this one and one more that are going to be used to determine where placements are for brackets. Standard, a little bit boring, a little bit slow. Definitely not as fast as Kaz Boots, but once you see what that weapon they have to start with, should pick up a little bit.
Yeah, I saw beforehand a little bit of bomb strat practice going on there on Jabira's side, so it's good to see them, giving a little. Ooh, okay. Well, Furious, how do you feel about a Burna start?
Definitely going to have to conserve magic. You're going to need to figure out very quickly if there's a magic drop between the guards or the rats or something.
Yeah, so what I like to do in this first room is actually get a quick hit on them, just see what their drop is, and you can refill from those pots there.
Also finding a Fisher Price shield. Don't want to divide the chat too early.
Well, I mean, shields are required, right?
I think they're required.
Then we are of the same mindset there.
I don't know if I would go inside Spec Rock to pick one up though, because it's slow, but definitely would not be mad if I found a shield in a chest.
Really good strats there on Extreme Rando's side.
Yeah, Jabira also very nice kill. We are finding the key super early, so that should go very well for the rest of this race, or at least the rest of this game.
Yeah, I always like to see if our runners keep an eye out for the map. That's one thing I've been trying to poke into mentees' heads is, hey, have we seen that map yet? Just keep that in mind whether we need to check that Sank chest or not.
Yeah, and that's very big for, still being Swiss, because starting next week, they're not going to have that option. Oh, never mind. We don't have to reserve magic anymore.
All right. Baby seed.
Well, what's a Fisher Price shield without a Fisher Price sword?
I mean, you're not wrong. Well, let's see how they handle their ball and chain guard. I mean, it's going to be pretty quick and easy with a pot and what's left of your magic bar. Oh, but we're going for sword strats.
Yeah, at that point, just one pot and just use the Burna. But we are finding a glove.
Interesting. I was just thinking with that Burna, maybe we'll see an early mountain and a required spike cave.
I still think that the glove is even more important than that. We don't have any bombs. So being able to just easily come back to back of escape, knowing after Kakariko is a little bit nicer.
Yeah, good point out there. We were talking about enemy drops, and we really haven't seen much in the of value from the guards so far. I know that was something that was pretty helpful for my mentee earlier in the week. Was checking the guard drops and getting lucky with some bombs before we hit the back of escape. So I think that's something I'd be looking for.
Yeah, and another important piece to even think about is, correct me if I'm wrong, Blue guards are not the same as green guards, so you want to be checking both as you make your descent down.
I'm not sure about that. I know one person that's really familiar with that is Limpagel. But I know
Telthar in chat telling me that I am wrong.
yeah, I believe all guards, and is it the Dark World version of guards should be the same prize packs.
Our wonderful tracker Fernap letting me know that the blue and green are in the same pack, as are these robes.
So it looks like they might be a health or major prize pack drop here, which means there, if it's major prize pack, there is bombs.
Oh,
And that's
looks like
what
it's
it looks
major.
like. Yeah, it looks like both of them getting the knowledge that it is a major prize pack, which means we can get bombs before we get out of escape here.
Oh, never mind. We're fine. We have boots.
I mean, okay. Again, I stand by what I said before, baby seed.
I'm honestly inclined to believe you.
I thought this was standard, not Kaz boots.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I'm actually agreeing with Telethar. I don't really understand what Extreme Rando is doing. I get it, you want to have bombs going into Kakariko, but like, is it worth not finishing escape?
Yeah, for this part, I don't know that it is, because you have other ones that you can get an opportunity kill on. Also,
map.
There's our map, and I think Jabera may be finding out or not realizing that you don't get drops when you dash through an enemy. I know that's one thing I was bringing up for the Kaz Boots weeks, was if you're looking for items drops, you won't get drops when you dash through.
Our restreamer admitting that they nearly had a heart attack seeing that we found a sword, the small key in the first chest, and boots right in escape.
I mean, convenient though, right? We always take that.
Something we have not also mentioned is Extreme Rando is being mentored by a Rapid Wombat, whereas Jabera is being mentored by Emok81. I feel like that was important because, like you mentioned earlier, like, we're not playing Kaz Boots here, and suddenly this became a Kaz Boot seed.
Yeah, I mean, so Emok was one of my mentees last year, and he's got some really good skill. Learned really quickly and is good at these modes, so I think Jabera's in good hands.
I consider Emok a friend, and I sit here and send him bad seeds like these all the time.
You know,
I am fully believing that if the seed is this early front-loaded, it is just going to be a slog halfway through.
I mean, there's still, it would be really, really bad, but there's still a possibility of an Aga seed. We're still missing either another glove and a moon pearl or a hammer. One of those combinations, and we could not find it in a lot of checks here.
I sat here and found a seed once with GT Big Key and Tile Room and sent it to him without a second thought.
You know, I think that the Blessed and Cursed Seed Room is just a practice room for those who are brave enough.
Yeah, speaking of that, like, a lot of these mentees have been running a lot of practice seeds. I know Extreme Rando has rolled a few himself. A little bit of stuttering on Jabera's side, but hopefully we can get that fixed. I think we're just trying to sync them up.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Getting some quick guaranteed bombs here from the Bonk Rocks and using the Mystic's House to reset it. That's going to give him enough bombs for his first two main checks here. being Blind's Hut and the well drop down. And I was just reminded of a 50-50 there.
Alright, red meringue and some rupees. And then the combination of the two.
All right. Well, I mean, Rupee's not a big struggle here in the beginning so far.
No, and they're already at 5 hearts going, coming into Kakariko, so I don't think health's going to be that big of an issue in the early game. Could be a problem in the later game. Neither runner has done a map check, though.
Yeah, normally you, especially if you have boots, I kind of get that map check quicker rather than later.
Hookshot and Moon
and
Pearl.
Hookshot. So I'd be thinking mountain.
I'm definitely thinking mountain after finding the lamp and bombos.
Yeah.
Oh
wow.
my god. I don't even think I'm finishing the rest of this.
Here.
I think I'm grabbing Bottle Fender and leaving. Hey, Agus and Logic.
I mean, so we rush Aga, right?
Personally, absolutely. Like, yes, there's 7 items on the mountain. Sorry, there's 9 items on the mountain that we can grab right now. But oh, there's our map check. We have a green pendant Eastern, so vanilla Eastern, vanilla desert, and then crystal Hera.
Yeah, I feel like I'm rushing that mountain, being that that's our own crystal on the board.
We can't get to it. We don't have hammer or a mirror.
That's true. Yeah, we would need hammer or mirror.
So I think
like there's enough checks,
but I think maybe go South Shore, hit up Mini Moldorm Cave, and then go straight to Aga.
Yeah, no. This is definitely a stacked CAC.
Jabera, unfortunately, looking at the wrong side of the tavern. We cannot grab a drink until later.
Right. No drinking till after the race. No drinking and driving here. Oof. Yeah, so I don't know and you may be more experienced than me here, but I don't know if I would have grabbed that rupee. I don't think it would have been worth the time.
If they were closer to 500, probably, but they're not. Oh. So Aga's super boosting, yes. That may actually change my earlier statement of Mini Moldorm into Aga. I think Aga is just the answer.
Yeah, with that hook shot, that kind of gives us access to the whole left side as well. I feel like there's so many checks at the beginning, though. You kind of got to give them a try before hard committing to Aga.
Yeah, just on South Shore alone, if we want to throw a Gina in there, that's 6 items between Mini Moldorm Cave and Ice Rod Cave. Add the 2 at the dam, that's 8, and then there's the Gina Cave, so that's 9. 9 on the mountain with Old Man, Spec Rock, Paradox Cave, and Spiral. So just kind of pick your poison at this point.
Yeah, I think checking your sphere zeros here and either committing to, hey, I'm gonna find hammer or mirror on the mountain, or you know, what we're probably gonna see is the South Shore check. We may be looking at a setup for Houlihan.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, without the flippers, I would have used the cave. It's a little bit of a safer setup.
Well, even then, like Zora, yes, is in logic with the glove, but you have all those items on the mount we were just talking about. You have all of South Shore. You have your stuff for Aga. Like again, Aga sucks. Don't get me wrong, but you kind of know the seed's pointing you there. If you go in the Dark World through Aga, you get the information of what dungeons are required. So I don't know if I disagree with doing Houlihan at all, personally.
Well, since we just saw what's on Dam, it would be exactly what I would do. Is I'd go get Houlihan, so I guarantee I have my Zora money, and then go find 300 rupees, which they soon will. So you know. I guess that's a safety call this early in the seed.
Choosing not to grab that chest first. You already had the hook clip.
That's enough slices. Well, the good news is Extreme Rando is not going to have any problems with rupees this run.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Jabera, having gone to Agina first, did kind of give Extreme Rando some time to go and match up with them, both here in Mini Mortem Cave. Finding Mushroom and Blue Nick.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take the early armor, especially when you're newer at the game. That early safeties, early health.
Knowing both runners are using a Link Sprite, and I keep looking between the two, and it's just throwing me off that they're just not the same Link Sprite.
Yeah, the subtle variation ones. Okay, question for you and for chat. Do you guys have a favorite sprite to use?
Personally, yes, but I'm also, if I'm playing casually, which most of the time I am, I'll switch between a couple of them, just because. But if I want to, like, really try hard it, I have my sprite that I like to use just because I know all my lineups for it. I don't have to worry about it.
So, I have two that I kind of cycle between. I use Sora, and I use Twilight Princess Wolfwing.
Okay. I will cycle between, like, Ketchup Bottle, the Cursor, Clippy, Future Trunks, Vegeta. Primarily Vegeta, but it just depends what I'm feeling that day.
We have somebody in chat that has not gotten into randomizer yet. Well, welcome in. That's what this this whole GoMod podcast mentor tournament is for, learning the randomizer. So you're in the right place.
You're also not even required to use a sprite if you don't want to. I mean, Link, sometimes people just want to look at Link. And that's perfectly okay. Our wonderful community manager, Lumaga, putting the Discord link in chat, so if you are not part of the GoMod Podcast Discord, you are more than welcome to go and join that, and there are a whole bunch of friendly people that year-round will be able to answer questions and help newer runners learn. Also, I'll go pointing out that yes, if you don't want to look at anything, there is also Invisible Link.
Well, here's the moment where we gamble away all our hard-earned points. I'm kidding, totally. But we get to see if we're scammed by Scamfish. I mean King Zora. Yeah. 500 rupees for a 3-pack of bombs. No thank you.
Personally, I still don't think I agree with this sort of routing, but I also understand like why they did it. It is just more of a natural opening play, especially with boots. Extreme Rando's going to the mountain. Let's see what Jabrera does. If I know his mentor, he's trying to put off Aga as long as possible.
Yeah. I feel like that's usually a last location for me too. I always feel like it's gonna be that last check that I am skipping before going to Ag, and I'm like, it's gonna be this one, you know, it's gonna be that one.
If I don't have lamp, like if I have cape and a sword, maybe I would be doing this just because I might have skipped Agina, and lamp will just be there. But if I have lamp, master sword, and a cape, I'm telling myself no. It's telling me to go to Aga, and especially Moon Pearl, but nothing else.
I don't know. I feel like with all the mountain access, we're only one item away. So either another pair of gloves or a hammer away from our Dark World access. So I feel like this at least before Aga.
And that's fair.
I understand not going into like an Eastern Palace at this point.
There are no wrong plays until they are.
Oh yeah.
I was just speaking with another mentee before this. Yeah, unfortunate death there, but that is going to give Jabrera a little bit of time to catch up. I was speaking with another mentee before this, who their race today they skipped a vital location that's really a one-off, and because they were trying to be aggressive, and unfortunately it just didn't play out for them the way they were hoping. So it happens. It really does.
Yeah, I think one thing I know I didn't talk about enough this year is making skips are a risk, and that's kind of what you commit to. Is either you are completely skipping out on unneeded checks, or there's something there and you're gonna be kicking yourself when you go back. But that's the gamble you take when you choose to skip stuff. So I think a lot of us have that last location. Like Catfish is one of those big points.
Pretty sure we all have our favorite 4-letter words when we find those locations too. Alright, what does Paradox have for us?
Come on, Hammer. Wow. Absolutely nothing.
They have one last chance. And Jabrera is saying no. I am going to be more intrigued whether or not Emok directs them to do Eastern Palace now or not.
It might be worthwhile to dash over and do Saha. If you want to be thorough.
To our tracker letting us know that was a 0 out of 10 Paradox. It's caves like that where you realize, damn, there are a lot of red items in this game.
Also blue. I've had some weird seeds that like the entire beginning is just nothing but blue items and red items.
You'll sit here and talk about the boots, you'll get a red rupee. You sit here and talk about the flute, you get a blue rupee.
Yeah, chat's not wrong. This is the price you pay for a great CAC. Now, one thing, neither of our runners have checked our fetch quests either. We've got a couple of them.
Only one of them's available right now, right? With just checking mushroom?
We've got mushroom. We also have a shovel on
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Extreme side.
That was found at Hobo on both runners. Well then.
There's our flippers putting all the all those checks in logic now.
Come hell or high water, they are saying I am not doing Aga.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is definitely where we're gonna see if this pays off. If it gets them past the AGA requirement, they could have some early Dark World access, or we could see them both entering Dark World at the same time here, even.
In your position, what would you be doing? Because it's Green Pendant Eastern, you can't beat it. It does have 3 items, potentially one of them's locked, or guaranteed Dark World access and the entire Dark World map available to you.
As a mentor, I usually leave it up to the mentee, and myself, though, I think I'm hitting the dungeon in this moment.
Fascinating. I think I would actually be doing Jabera and going to Aga. Just knowing how much more could open up versus the 3 items that are there, and one of them may not even be available to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I sometimes treat a pendant Eastern or like a pendant Thieves Town as overworld.
I feel like the only pendant I would ever intentionally dip is Pendant Pod.
See, and I feel like because of Pod Maze, it's one of the ones that's more out of the way.
I have recency bias and also long-term recency bias.
I mean, yeah, you gotta
times
trust in Pendant Pod, but
of course.
well, especially if this is supposed to be an Agaseed. If we see Pod being the other pendant, I feel like you just dip it before you go left. But what are your thoughts on that?
You don't have bow, you don't have hammer. I honestly think that just going straight left, getting Village of Outcast all the way down to Hype Cave. The only thing I think might fight Jabera is those flippers being on Saha, because Extreme Rando could just kind of do a whole world tour and swim back to Pod at that point.
True. Yeah. And if we find a mirror somewhere along the way, that's also a Swamp Palace.
Alright, Aga down, Extreme Rando going to Agina. Oh no, this might be the mushroom check.
I mean, if you're last locating Aga, you gotta do these.
Red mail.
Again, baby seed.
Especially if that's required. Let me rephrase. As well as if beating Aga going past Pyramid is required. That's right on your route.
Ooh, Potion Shop is a bust.
I think all he has left is Agina.
Shovel check.
Oh yeah.
We do have shovel check.
One
I
day
feel
I'll-
like this is pushing it now. I think if I dip the Eastern, I'm leaving these other checks for later.
I have
till I
raced
get the
Random
flute or something.
Wombat in, I have raced Wombat in the past. This does not surprise me. If this is their kind of routing of let's just push Agina, Aga off as long as possible.
Yeah, and it looks like Aga is the answer.
Interesting.
I like getting catfish before going to the left here. It's right now, otherwise it would be really orphaned. And you're here, it's only a quick dip.
Oh, map check. Okay. I saw.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was really fast, but I thought it was a pendant Thieves Town. So
It is. It's Pendant Thieves Town, Red Crystal, Mire, Turtle Rock, and regular Pendant. Everything else.
well, I mean, so this came up in another one and I think this is one thing that I keep seeing get discussed in general is, what do you do with a pendant Thieves Town? We don't have the hammer.
Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
They dashed right by it. I was just like, Jabura, you have the cape.
Oh yeah. Even when I don't have the cape, knowledge is power.
Lumaga letting us know that the winner of this jumps from Fighter Sword up to Master Sword. So there are stakes on this race. And let's just hope that those stakes are grilled well done.
Well, knowing that Extreme Rando has done every other check that was available to his here, I think Jabera gets a little bit of an advantage here. That's good use of the boomerang for Extreme Rando to pick up the key.
Yeah, I think the use of the boomerang has just been lost over the years. Most people just view it as a way of stun prizing, completely forgetting that it can be used as a way to pick up an item.
There's our hammer in Village of Outcasts.
Alright. Now, as you were probably saying earlier, first four Thieves Town versus finishing Pendant Thieves Town. Personally, I like just the first four.
I don't know. I tend to make a feeling call based on the front. Especially since we just picked up hammer.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. We are looking for so many items. Right now, just based off the tracker, we know that we need mirror, both rods, bow, at least maybe one more medallion. Like, we don't know anything about that information just yet, plus the flute. So there's still quite a bit of items we're looking for.
All right, Jabera deciding to save and quit out. I'm thinking maybe Hype Cave might be their next destination. Don't worry, Furious. You're always invited to the barbecue.
I don't know. I feel like I just enraged Lumaga. I think I'm going to lose my sword status here shortly. He's already threatened to take away swords today. Alright, Extreme Rando now finding their red tunic on the pyramid. And as you're saying, Jabera is going to go do Hype Cave.
Yeah, I like this. Get your other items. Like your bow.
That's pod.
Yeah, I would definitely take that over to pod.
Like, that's not questionable at this point. Coin Chaser letting us know in chat. Yeah, good weight on pod. I 100% agree. don't think that going to pod without bow, hammer, anything right off the rip was a very good play. I really enjoy this.
I would actually be interested to see a mirror pop up in pod. Kind of looking at the logic route would take us towards getting that Saha check, which would give us a flippers, and then take us towards our next logical dungeon being Swamp Palace.
If we don't find Mirror, though, I think that the next logical thing we probably could do is Hera. Like, everyone wants to save Hera for last. Yeah, but we've had Mountain Axis for so long that if you look at it in a different lens, like, do your Aga right away when you have the chance, then follow that into the mountain, and just take care of the mountain all at once.
Now, we did also get that book. Desert is completable, but it's a pendant. I think I'm saving that for last.
Yeah, it's not even in my thought process. I will agree, though, with Button Mashu, that Skull Woods was also an option. I don't know if I personally like it without Fire Rod. I know that's a big thing in the community. But you had there are so many other options. There are just denser checks personally to do.
Yeah, I think when finding that hammer, I almost would have just left right there and went Hype Cave.
Chat pointing out, Ped is in Logic. And for us as Twitch chat and commentators, that's wonderful news. But I don't think our runners will like it very much.
Yeah, and we have a book. I think I'm checking it before I'm pulling it.
Hopefully we find Mirror before going to Skull Woods. We could just knock it all out at once.
Now, if we have a Ped seed, what item are we thinking on Ped?
How much chaos do you want?
Always all the chaos.
Personally, I think that the Ice Rock would be very funny.
I mean, I feel like that's stereotypical, you know, Ice Rod Hunt, it's gotta be on the pedestal.
Yeah, but then it becomes a question of how long can I delay this? Because then they could just put TR off for very last. Whereas if it's Mirror, you may as well just go mode all your pendants right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
So Ice Rod would be very funny just for knowing that you have to do TR like last. And then we get a very oops all dungeons.
You know, I'm okay with those sometimes. Sometimes, you know, going in knowing that you have to do all the dungeons is better than having that wondering of, okay, do I need to dip this or am I just wasting time?
Let's see what Extreme Rando's going to the back.
Well, we'll see if it pays off now, because this is a whole lot of divergence.
Yeah. Because even on Terraria side, we still didn't see Stumpy. We still didn't see Dig Game. So, knowing that those are also an option once Extreme Rando gets out of here, like, I'm excited to see if they're going to save and quit and do Hype Cave straight away as well.
I gotta do it. Back of pendant to Thieves Town. This sure is some extreme rando. You're welcome, back.
I like puns, but I don't think that one was cooked all the way. Oh,
speaking of the mirror! Ooh! Okay, and we were talking about those flippers, too.
Yeah, they're just gonna go straight into Ice Palace.
And that leads them down to their hammer as well. Oh, sorry, they already got their hammer.
Yeah. So they can just do all of South. They can do Jig Game, K45, Stumpy.
They're gonna. What was in Hype Cave was the bow.
The bow.
Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah, Jabera missed a step in the logic train here.
To be fair, like, I don't think I would have done it either. Like, it sucks to have to go all the way to the attic for that in a pendant dungeon. Answering chat, yes, that scenario is possible. A Fire Rod and Turtle Rock and Ice Rod on Ped. You have to be extremely lucky on your keys, though.
Well, this just got spicy. Because when do they come back for Mirror? That may be a last location.
Probably if you find Fire Rod that's not mirror locked. Because that's the only time I think you could see. I could see them coming back before Mitts. And
I think the only saving grace might be if Mitts are locked behind Mirror somehow. It's gonna limit their number of checks after this Ped hit.
Yeah, finding Samaria is also like crazy. All you're needing is a flute to be able to go to Misery Mire.
Yeah, I think Extreme being a little more efficient as far as getting all the checks in an area is kind of paying off. Leave no stone unturned.
Oh, and this is
yeah, I like this.
Dude, this is Mitts. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we don't even need to fake powder, so this is again, this just makes their run really efficient. Snubbed.
Yeah, and Sword on Blind. Like, this Thieves Town was stacked, and I don't think I've even seen anything in pod on Jabera side.
Well, I mean, we had a stacked CAC. Why wouldn't Village of Outcasts also be?
Looking at the tracker, the only thing I've seen different by the time Jabera went in to when they're going into Helma now is Ether.
Right.
That was big.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing would be if there is a Fire Rod sitting in Skull Woods. Yeah, Helmy not wanting to sit still there for Jabera, but finally getting those 8 arrows in. That is crystal number 1 on Jabera's side.
If you're Jabera, where do you go?
Again, I that's what I was saying is I think they're gonna get funneled back over to that side of the world. We've already cleared Mountain, other than doing like Spike Cave.
Well, we have Hera now, because we can't even do Spike Cave. Well, I guess we
Right,
could.
Hera, Spike Cave. I mean, and that just there, it sucks to go to them. I missed what was on Bombos there.
I did too, unfortunately.
Maybe rupees. Oh,
Oh,
mitts.
mitts.
There you go. Mirror locks
know,
mitts. So
Only one
Here's
of the
the
more
thing.
important items in the game.
that's actually good for Jabera because they're gonna get funneled. They have these crappy checks to go to.
Yeah, but they have.
You know,
they have
Extreme
Ped.
Rando's gonna be able to do it much faster, but you know, having the mitts be mirror locked is actually good for them. They're just gonna have some ground to make up.
I'm gonna disagree because your other options right now are grabbing your other 2 pendants before ever making your way back to Thieves Town.
Oh, you hope that they don't go that way.
Because in their eyes, they got booked before Bow, so that means, alright, Desert, and then they can go do Eastern because they have they're like, alright, I have Lamp. So I can see that way before I can see them going back to Thieves Town. Like, they're gonna have to go back to Thieves Town anyways if their play is PID, but like...
Well, and we were talking earlier about, you know, you make that skip, and this is where we see the difference is a lot of times it's the back of Thieves Town in an independent Thieves Town.
And it's also worse than that, because if they do Thieves Town last and find that mirror, they might not finish the rest of the dungeon, and they're gonna lose their sword, they're gonna lose their Samaria. At that point, you may just want to check Ped to begin with and say, screw it, like, what are my odds?
Well, we're getting our first look at Swamp Palace, which has our other medallion. We've got collectively all 3 of them between them.
That means for no mode, we're just missing both rods and a flute.
That's our first bottle there on Ether.
For anyone new, because I know we have a few new people in chat, like, this is a perfect example of just one decision can swing the entire race. Jarrera was in the lead coming out of Aga because they decided not to delay anything, which is... That swung everything.
Now, hindsight, we know stuff was in the back, but would you, with what you had, if you got the hammer before going in, would you have gone to the back with finding like the map and I believe there was something else in the front there too? Was that going to be a skip for you, or would you have? Would you have got
Soldiers! Oh my god!
Wow, already.
Yeah, like, I'll back to your question in just a moment. Like, we're really down to 2 rods and a flute at this point. Like,
yeah, and we've got a pretty easy Ganon fight already.
oh my god. But to your question, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's 3 items in the back because now we know Samaria, Mirror, and Sword are back there. I don't know if I still would have done it at the time. I think I would be doing exactly what Jabrera's doing and doing everything besides it.
Ah, unfortunate. Now, let's talk about our next skip here. Are you skipping left side of Swamp?
No, never. With how many memes Swamp Palace has, absolutely not.
Going for the silver quick kill, but got a little bump from the tip of the sword, unfortunately. So that's going to be Extreme Rando's first crystal. There is Swamp Palace. Yeah, not surprising here. It looks like they're going to be taking this right over to Ice Palace and probably Lake Hylia. Did we see anything on Lake Hylia? I don't think there was anything there.
No, I want to say it was $50. It wasn't anything useful.
Yeah, this is kind of like when we say like your opponent has the god route. I think that's kind of what we're seeing. I'm not a fan of having Bombos be my Ice Palace access without either half magic or a potion.
Which we know where half magic is, but I'm also still a believer that fire is going to lead to fire here.
Yeah. Just the way this seed has been going, we're kind of just following the dungeons around the world at this point. While our runner, Jabber, is on a coffee break, don't forget to go ahead and give our crew and our runners a follow. Extreme Ramdo is being mentored by Rabid Wombat, Jabber by Emok, myself, the Scatsman, Furious Prince, our tracker for an app, and Limp Bagel, our restreamer. We appreciate everything that anybody does with their volunteering and allowing us to restream them. You guys make this happen, and we appreciate everything. So thank you.
Yeah, and I want to do 2 extra special shout-outs for those as well. Fernap has done a lot of tracking this season. When it comes to doing Swiss, you've done a lot of commentary when it comes to it when we really need it. And Limp Bagels, a lot of restreams. If it weren't for the 3 of you guys, as well as our other restreamers and other volunteers, we wouldn't have been able to get every single racer on restream that signed up this year, at least that one or two. I know that out of every single runner, there's only been at least 2 that said after week 1 that they didn't want to be on restream, and we've gotten every single one of the other ones that did say yes, I am okay with restream. So congratulations to the entire restream team, entire communities, all the volunteers, everyone that was able to help put that on this season. It's only going to get better from here because we are about to enter brackets, so let's continue that. There's the Ice Rod. So, wrong rod in Ice Palace.
I mean, is it though? Ice and ice? I mean...
Yeah, but fire leads to fire, and unfortunately, that's not the case here.
Well, again, just looking at the memes that we've seen so far with the items and dungeons, we could have a fire rod just sitting in Skull Woods, and they were supposed to grab that.
We could have it being on Ped.
True, I mean, but then that screws up our weird train logic that we've had so far.
Personally, I would like it to be on Ped, and actually Jabber is going to go check it now, but that's actually bad for them because it's going to push them further away from Thieves Town. At least for the meanwhile.
I'm just waiting in anticipation.
Nope.
It's not. Yeah, Ped's dead. Doesn't, as we know, doesn't mean that all the Ped dungeons are dead though, because we know Jabber still has to go back to Thieves Town at some point. I guess we're gonna see what Sick Kid has for us. I understand doing it while you're here. They're kind of running out of checks. Back of Thieves Town had the mirror, which led to Mitts.
Oh, it had more than that. It had Mirror, then had Samaria, and then had Tempered Sword.
Yeah, loaded CAC, loaded Village of Outcasts.
Required Aga.
And so far, for anybody joining us that didn't see it, Jabera dipped the front four and left the Pendant Thieves Town, whereas Extreme Rando did the whole dungeon and found the goodies. Yeah, but this is what I was saying here is Jabera's gonna get bottlenecked here, having to come back to this area. And
They still have Skullwoods, and even though they know Ped's dead, they still have the other 2 pendants to do. And out of the 3, you have 3 items in Thieves Town, but you have 4 items if you count the green pendant on Eastern. So, like, I can see the logic for doing Eastern before Thieves, even though we as commentators know that's not the correct decision.
yeah, exactly. Seeing that you dipped one and not the other.
Especially with green pendant Eastern being right next to Saha. This might be their flippers right now. To answer our restreamer, he has Dark Death Mountain. He has Hookshot Cave. I don't think Extreme's gone into Skullwoods either, so Skullwoods could still be the answer. Hera's still in logic for both runners. Or not, sorry. Jabera has already seen Hera, so we know Hera's not the answer.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Mirror and Samara is going to be last location here. Once they work their way back around.
Yeah, and I don't really like the thought that even when you find the mirror, Jabera has basically cleared everything else, that they might just get bottlenecked straight into Bombo's tablet, but that means that it's been so much time wasted versus where Extreme Rando kind of has quote-unquote gotten lucky. But that's just every Rando seed. We all get lucky at one point or another.
Now, if you're Extreme Rando here, are you doing Eastern Palace after finishing Pod? Just to get it off the board. It's green pendant. I don't know if we still have an item left or not. We can recount here on Jabera's side, but I don't know. Do you do that before you go to Mountain? Since we have Mirror. No. Okay.
No, they've already dipped it. We know it's green pendant, yeah, but like item density becomes a thing.
Yeah. Then I mean Jabera's saving grace right now is if they do, they're going to be finishing Eastern Palace, and if something is on the green pendant, turn in.
You kind of have to hope it's Flute, but for them that's not going to be very helpful. Maybe Fire Rod pushes them in the direction of going back?
Yeah, it would have to
like
be like Fire Rod to get them going back that way. Because we know that Mitts are on Bombo's tablet, which was locked behind our mirror.
And Flute's the only thing that's going to get them going back there with Flute is just to activate it, but they're not going to go to Dark World.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing they have left besides Eastern Palace here is Desert. If you're in their place, do you do Desert before going back to Skullwoods and Thieves Town?
In their position, yes. We found the book relatively early. It was easy to get to, so to them it's early in logic.
Oh, actually, yeah, we might even see a ped pull on their side.
Well,
they that's right. They checked it with the book.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like knowing that Pedestal's dead, Desert is really out of the way. I feel like I go back and I start with Skull Woods and finish with Thieves Town. Because that way you're at least just checking the front, and maybe you get lucky.
I have not been keeping count on Jabrera's side, but they're going for it. But that may just be because it's Green Pendant.
Yeah, for Jabrera's side, it makes sense because now, like we've been saying with these pendant dungeons, you're here, you might as well clear it. They've already cleared Pod, so
Squishy, yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. Fire Rod needs to be on Green Pendant, because if it's at Desert, Desert's kind of relatively easy to get to, especially for Extreme Rando. Whereas Extreme Rando has already dipped Eastern Palace, they have no reason to come back in here.
yeah, I think Extreme Rando's next move is probably going to be going to do Dark Death Mountain. Looking for that flute, looking for go mode.
Beyond that, also getting just the information for Turtle Rock, because you have Samaria, you have two of your three medallions.
Yeah, and you said earlier, we could have that Fire Rod early on in Turtle Rock, depending on where our keys are.
We don't even have to have it early on. With the way, if the keys are placed in a very specific way, it could be all the way on Laser Bridge.
Ooh, yeah, okay then.
It's a very rare chance for that to happen, but it's.
Well, I mean, at that point, we can also be looking at Mimic Cave too. That's a hard commit.
Well, honestly, the way the seed's been at the moment, it's entirely possible.
Yeah, we were talking about recent biases, and I feel like committing to Turtle Rock having its own go mode has been better off more than not.
I feel just go modes in general. I feel like I've seen a lot of boots and mirrors in ER lately than anything else.
Did not pay off.
At what point do you start sweating?
I think at that Green Pendant turn-in. Honestly, because I feel like that had to be your answer.
You're an hour in, you've only completed 2 crystal dungeons. I'm worried for them, honestly.
Yeah, because now they're doing a lot of the same cleanup that Extreme Rando did in the beginning of the seed. Doing their mushroom turn-in, they did their shovel turn-in. You can tell maybe a little bit of nerves here, the way that they're getting their swim movement. I think we're starting to be like, okay, where's this answer? Because even progression-wise, they have not seen any for a while now.
Yeah, this may just kind of be an order of operations. It's like, well, I got mushroom before I got X, Y, and Z, and then we may see the book at some point, but this could just be kind of frantic. Well, what early checks did I miss?
And this could even be like, okay, we're going to try not going independent dungeon. This was available early.
This could be the Skullwoods play.
Wait, did they not get the back of Saha when they turned in Green Pendant?
They got it before they went into Eastern Palace.
Remind me, where were Flippers? Was that also the
back of Saha? Nope, they were back of Saha.
Oh, back of Saha, okay.
Our trackers just had a lot of things going on at the moment because we're all kind of watching Extreme Rando progress, and just rule number 1 of Rando, go where the items are. Fernap, you are 100% okay. And I also just misspoke.
How dare you?
go where the items are is the second rule of rando. First rule is don't die.
Yeah, I hold that as my first rule as well, in life and in rando.
When I was a manager for a place a few years ago, I used to tell my crew all the time, my number one rule is just don't die. So I also
Paperwork, right?
that's what I said, and everyone was like, "Well, that's really morbid." It's like you don't have to fill out paperwork. My second rule had to develop as don't lose the body part.
Well,
I am also surprised they did not go to desert first.
I think when you start breaking it down, the smarter play is here. Just when
I
you start
agree.
seeing the way that the other stuff fell. And worst comes to worst, you get that fire rod and just go north and do Skull Woods, but they're gonna find the ouchie really soon here.
That's my thought with it, because it also is back to item density. That's honestly how I view rando just in general is, yes, desert has been available, no one's checked it yet, but it's 2 items. Between Skull Woods and Thieves Town, you have 5. So I like this a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think that we're gonna see them actually go into Skull Woods. Maybe even get a peek at Graveyard Ledge before heading to some of the other checks like Desert and some of the other dungeons that are now gonna be available. Curious if they even rush Mountain with Dark Death Mountain being available then.
Limp,
Sometimes we see good plays when runners think they're behind.
Limp, I agree with you. I hope they weren't going to leave right here with the mirror, which it looks like they're about to. Don't do it.
Oh no. Oh no.
No. Oh no.
Okay, what else was in there?
Samaria
The
and a
sword
sword
and
on
Samaria. Oh yeah. Yeah.
blind. The sword on blind isn't the end of the world. There's another sword.
But that's Samaria. Yeah.
Samaria is required, and our restreamer letting us know it's in Big Chest.
Well,
I was worried about that when we first saw it. Oh, feels bad, man.
Jabera just signed up for a hundo seed, probably, minus bed.
Lamaga, when are we adding completionist mode to Mentor Tournament? Can we make that a fighter sword requirement?
Here's where I'm at. I feel like if you're coming back, you finish the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't agree with what they're doing now. We still haven't seen Skull Woods.
And you know what? I agree with you. A hundo mode would be good for people to learn checks. Where certain checks are that aren't commonly loaded with items, maybe out of the way.
I think if you did a completionist mode for like week 1 or week 2, all the newer runners that have never touched this game before will learn where all 216 checks are. They will have no way of not. And responding to Furious No in chat, you don't have any more eligibility, so I don't know why I'm getting a Furious No. So Jaberna's gonna get mitts, which is an even worse problem for them.
Do I hear week 2 is NMG? You know what? I'm on board.
Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of Rando?
I know, you make week 1 NMG, and then week 2 is hundo.
If NMG gets added, will be very glad that I am not eligible for Mentor Tournament. I refuse to play NMG.
Yeah, there you go. Vanilla is a rando preset. Thank you.
Oh, he responds to NMG, but won't respond to completionist. I see how it is. Alright, so Extreme Rando is going to go... Bombos is the required medallion for TR.
We're on, what, a fire rod hunt now? And a flute hunt.
Yep.
I'm thinking we at least find flute here. It would suck to have a required double dip Turtle Rock, though. But that's an early answer of whether it's in there or not. Is the first chest is not a key. Yeah, Spike Cave has been early has been available pretty early here.
We have seen Spike Cave.
Have we? It was junk, right?
Yes. Jabber did it earlier.
Ah, I missed that. I was probably looking at Extreme Rando's side. Yes, thank you. Yes, I missed it. I completely missed it. Yeah, I mean, we were doubting Desert, but now it's looking like an Oops All Dungeons.
I'm still holding out hope that it's Skullwoods. I have been burned too many times where my required items in Skullwoods.
Whoops! That's gonna be a mirror bonk.
I have a retort for Rando as a vanilla preset by saying that so is this even randomized? You don't see us racing that every week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Chad here. I would dip a Crystal Skullwoods before Pendant Desert Palace. However, I would do that on Extreme Rando's side. I feel like on Jabber's side, we're gonna see Desert before we go back to Village yet again.
Squishy, it's not that it's unrealistic. Like, it's just the fact that Extreme Rando has had a Tempered Sword for a hot minute now. Like, you're on Red Mail with the Tempered Sword. Skullwood should have been somewhere in the conversation shortly after getting that mirror. Especially since they also have the mirror to go check what pet is with the book.
Yeah, I like knowledge is power.
And about dipping Crystal Skull Woods before Pendant Desert, like ABCDs, always be beating Crystal Dungeons. So I would always rather dip a Crystal anything over a Pendant anything. Except Pendant Pod.
Well, first item in Skull Woods is nothing but 20 bucks. I believe this is a key, correct?
Oh yeah, it has to be.
It's the
Well,
big key, though.
It was a key.
I mean, I wasn't wrong.
Futurama says it best.
There's the key.
Futurama says it best. You are technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
I'll take it.
Extreme.
Really? Did we check the
No.
Stalfos room?
No.
Oh. Well, I guess at that point you're kind of required anyways.
I like this play.
Yeah, because once you're going that way, you have to go that way to do the dungeon anyways. So I guess it's a good skip.
Well, sorry, I meant I like going Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. I do not like them skipping Vanilla Big Key Chest. If you're gonna dip it, you better full dip it.
Yeah, no, I agree, but Well, never mind. You know, go where the items are. Um,
Yes, what should we have?
their spidey senses were tingling, and they knew exactly where their go mode, or sorry, their fire rod was. We're what, flute for go mode now, so
Yeah, for everyone in chat going go mode, we are not go mode. We still need flute.
we are one from go. We know it's not on pedestal. Could be desert.
I saw blue item. This is exactly what we're talking about. You speak about an item, and it shows up next. Blue flute, blue rupee. I'm actually inclined to agree with chat. I think TR is the answer.
True. Yeah, we just picked up the fire rod. Now TR is completable.
This will go back to the whole TR always seems to have go mode. Limp, I believe so.
Yeah, there's one item left. We got a red rupee in the front. Flute on Moth would be a little spicy.
We've also had
Now,
quite a few.
You know, going back, we had that mirror. We had access to that fire rod pretty early here.
I don't hate it. You had hammer and mirror in the same area, and you still had hype cave to do. I don't hate it. I do think that
Plus with boots, just get that area out of the way with a
Well,
Skullwood zip.
you would have had to find mitts on bumper ledge. Sorry, not bumper ledge. Bombos tablet. I mean, you don't have to because of flute, but still, like, I don't hate it. I think going south was the right call there. But I have noticed we've talked about a few items tonight that as soon as we start talking about, oh, this won't show up for a while, shows up in the very next scene.
Moment of truth, let's see what's on Moth. Meanwhile, Jabber going through Ice Palace, lining up their Ice Palace bomb jump. Unfortunately, if they would have just went a little further into Thieves Town, would have had.
Maybe I'm old school. I don't understand IPBJing if you know you have to full to clear the dungeon anyways.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that that's been a really common thing this tournament so far, is a lot of mentees IPBJing. I don't know if it's just for the swag of just, oh, I learned this trick or what it is. I've never understood that at all.
All right, here's the curiosity. Are we going into Turtle Rock? It looks like we might be. We know it's not Pyramid Fairy, because Meyer cancels that out. I guess there really only is Turtle Rock and Desert Palace left for Extreme Rando. The answer, chest, yes. Ice Palace bomb jump is IPBJ.
Even though it sounds like an alcoholic IPA, it is not. I also think peanut butter and jelly when I think IPBJ.
Oh gosh. Paired with a $20 Olive Burger. Oh god.
Lumaga, I have a fantastic business idea. Let's open up a restaurant. It's all just linked to the past theme.
Who ordered the scam burger?
You got the Hyrulean salad,
Fresh cut.
the Ganondorf burger,
Roasted pulled pork pig.
if Nintendo wouldn't sue our asses. Jabrera getting their ice around there.
Now that everybody's hungry, scam fish fillet, I love it. Scam fish and chips.
I also like fried catfish.
Welcome to the Go Mode Podcast cooking channel. Oh, sorry, I apologize.
This is why I'm only allowed to be a restream.
You know, it hurts a little bit to see Javera having to go the long way through.
It does. It also just isn't helped by where do they go? Because they still also have Skull Woods. They'll find that fire rod on Graveyard Ledge. All right, Squishy, I have to respond with that one. Can we call them, instead of appetizers, they're called icebreakers?
You know, I like coming into Turtle Rock, being able to leave no stone unturned. It just feels better. It burns me all the time in key sanity modes, whether you just skip the lava chest or not, and just
I have not also been keeping track on items. I know we're gonna have quite a few on Laser Bridge. More than likely an item on Trinex. I actually think honestly feels bad at the moment would be loot on Trinex.
oh.
Jabrera also almost dead.
Yeah, I was pointing it out to Karjan this past week about staying at the top, but you do have to dodge the puffs. They like to come and give you hugs.
I do know that I've been trying to put in people's heads when they come in that room, instead of immediately using your bombos to swing your sword 3 times and wait till the first ice drop fall before activating it. So that way, when you're moving, the crystal is going to fall where you were.
Yeah, I think that's something that like I use the timing of charging my sword to get over there at the right time, but I think everybody kind of finds their own little timings for things like that. Yeah, this is an oof. Dying on Cold Stare or Vitreous. The dungeons where it takes time to get back. Extreme Rando taking the long way, but the safe way. Now, one thing you guys can do, there is a safety ledge here, but you have a hook shot. You have some of your invulnerability items to help with your fire sneaks. and something we don't see too often is grabbing some stuff from Refill Fairy.
Yeah, I think on Jabera's side, without being able to Icebreaker and the IPVJ kind of costing way too much, there's your flute. We are
There's
now
your
at go
flute.
mode 124.05.
124.05 go mode, extreme rando side. Yeah, I think Jabera had to get something to do the Ice Palace bomb jump again, but I don't think they have to this time around.
That's
They have
fair.
keys. They have the extra key. They can do it the vanilla way, but I guess Ice Palace bomb jump's still faster.
For an app, it's just a comfortable thing, especially on week 6 of some people's first mentor tournament. I understand what you meant by that, though. Just for posterity, just walking into the lasers with Mirror Shield is fine. You don't have to hold your sword out. More or less, that's just for if you're leaving the lasers. Alright, Trinex is down. We are on to our last crystal.
Yeah, we still have to activate the flute.
Now comes the all-important question. Does he remember to mirror before saving and quitting?
It's looking like it. It's looking like it. One thing for mentees is most of the Dark World dungeons you can mirror right from the entrance, and you should be in a safe spot. Yeah, to answer chat, whenever you need a Godmire, you do not get a Godmire. And whenever you don't need it and you want items, you will get it. So by that logic, it will not be a Godmire.
I would disagree. I think it would be, so that way since Jabera needs it to not be one. Give him a little bit more of a time. While we salute our wonderful burb friend, what do you think a name for the restaurant should be? No, in all seriousness, Jabera is coming back to go fight Cold Stare, so we are going to see a refight on that. Meanwhile, Extreme Rando, I don't even think they fluff for the sword at this point, do you?
Yeah, I mean, we already have silvers, we have red mail, we have half magic. It's not really necessary. That's another thing with Extreme Rando came into the Cold Stare fight with the Tempered Sword, had an easier time of it. I think that detail alone making a big difference on combat times.
Just responding to that in chat. I mean, there's a couple more useful things that could be here. We still need a couple more bottles. We only have one on Jabera's side. We have 2 on Extreme Randos. Yes, we have red mail, but I want to also just remind people that this is a race for the winner is guaranteed a spot in Master Sword. You want all the safeties that you can get going into brackets right now. Especially like if you don't know if you're ahead, you don't know if you're behind. In Extreme Randos' minds, Mirror and Samaria were kind of on the way.
Well, it's not a Godmire. Is it a Demi? Good job to Jabera getting that fight cleaned up there on Cold Stare.
Alright, we are not going to see a Meyer rail clip.
Whoops. That's another thing. I know I started learning a little later in the mentor tournament when I went through is where is it safe to mirror? Where is it safe to do your dashes? I think those are little speed ups you kind of pick up as you play.
I know with cutscene chest here on Extreme Rando side, like that's something I learned was just where I can sit here and stretch. Because once you've been playing a seed for an hour and a half, like these two runners have, like your body gets a little tired.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
So
play with dexterity issues. I know about taking advantage of all the little breaks and the little cutscenes that let you set your controller down for a few seconds.
17 seconds here in Meyer, 17 seconds in Pod. If you get the coffee break in Hera, that's another, I don't know. I'm gonna just say 17 seconds because they like to do 17 here for some reason. I have no regrets for introducing this conversation, but I do also want to bring the focus back to chat, or to the race. But I enjoy the suggestions in chat. Jabera are finding their fire rods, so we're probably going to see them go to Skull Woods here shortly. Is also going to find the blue rupee here at King's Tomb.
Now, this is a mentor tournament. It's not over yet. We could see a death on Vitreous. We could see a death on Ganon's tower. We could see a death on Ganon himself. So I never like to count anything out. But
we could see a whole hardware crash.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't wish it on anybody, but I never like to count anything out.
Agreeing with that in our tracker, that was very nice, Spooky.
Very nice, Spooky.
I used to not even consider hardware failures. Like, yes, it happens. But after last year, where one of our runners had a complete crash 20 minutes in and still pulled the race out for a win, I don't put it past our runners anymore. At all.
So that's the last
crystal. It was Teeks.
You know what time it is, right?
Is it about that time to play 1 through 22?
I think it is. So, chat, why don't you get your guesses from 1 to 22 if you know what to do for the Ganon Tower Big Key? Furious, what is your number usually when you play this game?
Well, someone's already taken it. Usually I'm 13. But I like chaos. And someone's already taken 22, so I'm going to go with 21.
See, I usually pick 14. I'm going to go with the wife's number and pick 5. You gotta trust the random manager here.
I don't know. Extreme Rando has had a lot of easy breaks this time. I want chaos. It wasn't a Ped seed. It kind of gave you the information that it was an Aga seed. I want chaos.
I mean, at that point, then you just go for tile room, right?
Someone turned pots on. We'll make it like 50.
Oh, and we get dead rocked right in front of the ladder. Looks like Wombat may be telling him to clear off the screen, which is really good. When enemies leave the screen, they are considered defeated. Now we talk about this all the time. What kind of Ganon's Tower strats do you like to go with? Do you have a go-to? I'm usually a hope left.
Lately I've done hope left, but like if I'm racing really close friends. Otherwise, I'm a full left person. I think it's about time we bring DM strat back, and I specifically say that because I know Lumago's going to mention Dark Magician hasn't played in 8 years. Can we rename it? And Mr. Angry
And
Pants
make
is
it,
not here. I would say that we can't do Pink Magician.
Just name it after the current main tournament holders.
Just to respond to the latest message in chat, it's not even about just learning the ways. It's also learning what items are required. Because if you don't have Samaria, let's say Myra wasn't required at all. If you don't have Samaria going in here, you know you're not going to be able to go right. And then it becomes a question of, oh crap, where's Samaria? Should the key not be on the left? So it's more than just practicing that side, and also just remembering what items are required where.
Well, we've had bootsless seeds with the big key on Torch. Speaking of big keys, I lost count, but
That
we
was
did
check number
find it
8.
in map. Thank you. Number 8.
So, Kyrie Strumbum, come on down.
You get a lifetime supply of rando seeds to enjoy at your leisure, available on alttpr.com, or you can roll them in the Go Mode podcast tournament, mentor tournament. Oh my gosh, words. Discord. If you want that link, it'll be right in chat.
Squishy Panda having brought back some very bad memories for them by mentioning Samaria and Fire Rod required.
Yes, thank you. Offer not available for Avian seeds.
I like Avian Art seeds. Let's put some Antivrosia in next year.
I stand by my most used meme of, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just go to the item.
A little bit of a struggle there on Jabira's side, but we got through it.
Yeah, you know, I say this to my mentees all the time. Moth is not the tricky one. It's the arena.
Yes. Gooey Chewy, I will tell you firsthand that that is probably not the best place to start rando. Those are seeds for sickos like some of us in chat.
Yeah, best place to start is alttpr.com. It's gonna have daily seeds. It's gonna have your basic beginner game modes available. You can also check out presets via Sahabot. Yeah, that's the one you want to use.
I got worried. I thought you saved Avian Art.
Yeah, Avian Art usually has a little more tricky modes. So yeah, back to the race again. No more side quests here, as Extreme Rando is coming up on Mimics 2 already in their GT climb.
Yeah, they're speeding through it. They went through the gauntlet fast. They got through Lambo 2 fast. We're just kind of... We're already at lamps.
Yeah, really good gauntlet here for Extreme Rando. You can really start to tell, not just going into brackets, but these last few weeks here, who's been practicing, who's been flying by the seat of their pants, and it really shows when you get to the GT climb.
Yeah, and this goes back. In fact, Squishy even just makes a comment of it. He's speedrunning through GT. This is honestly the thing you need to practice. Like, not every seed is gonna have GT climb required. Obviously there's modes of fast scan and such, but like majority time your seeds are gonna have you go through GT. You better know what you're doing. Because this is the only dungeon where your equipment does not change.
We're going through refill room and not checking for the gold sword. Really? Could be feeling behind at this point, being that we are creeping up on the 2-hour mark.
In Jabrera's mind, like, when do you go back? At 2 hours in, when do you go back?
I think we said it earlier. It's gonna be last location at this point. They've already dipped into it twice, and yeah, it's just not. It's gonna be one of those not looking good last locations. It's a feels bad moment.
I'm waiting for the day for a mentor tournament that we can do like ghost times like Mario Kart used to do, where we can just have a runner look at their week 1 or even their placement seed performances and then throw them into a similar but not exact seed and just watch the improvement in week 6. Krista, if you are Extreme Rando, it's going fantastic. If you are Jabrera, it is going terribly.
Yeah, Extreme Rando's kind of been on the god route since Thieves Town. Doing the back of Thieves Town was our first point of divergence.
Squishy, we have that already. It's ALTTPO online, or ALTTPR online.
Getting a very quick and cheesy fight here on Extreme Rando's side, making good use of the cape and their half magic. Already in phase 3 of their Ganon fight. Oh no, is Jabber gonna do all of Blacksmith Chain before going back into Thieves Town? Oh boy.
Agreed.
I like going for the quick hits rather than the torch glitch here since we have silvers.
Jabrera's done all these other checks. We haven't even touched Desert yet either.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, I
2 hours.
see that in chat here too. Nobody's touched Desert yet.
And
I
we're
wonder if
2
they're
hours
still
in.
thinking about doing that before going back to Thieves Town, because this will
think
bring
they
them down that
forgot.
way. They may be doing Smith Chain down to Desert area.
And that is the pig down for Extreme Rando. Get your GGs in chat. They will be moving on to the Master Sword bracket.
Yeah,
And with that
GGs and
cross-
congrats.
With that cross, Extreme Rando has finished with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 44 seconds. And I agree with the Triforce. Oh, hey, it's you.
All right, well, let's give them a moment to progress their screen, and we'll see if we can get them in here for an after race interview. Meanwhile, Jabera is going to be looking for that flute and their Samaria. Luckily, the flute is locked by Samaria, but it looks like they're still going all the way to desert.
On top of that, you do wonder if they go back to
Thieves Town, are they going to do the same thing, or are they just going to abandon after finding Samaria? Because you're going to have blind at that point, so you wonder...
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I think at that point you kind of say, I've already abandoned this twice.
Yeah, I feel like just get your items, but they may get that Samaria out of the chest and save and quit, not get their extra sword.
In their mind, it could still be flute, so I doubt it. After abandoning twice. All right, and we are joined by our winner, Extreme Rando. GG's.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win and getting yourself into the Master Sword bracket.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know there was a Master Sword bracket, but I appreciate it.
So there's going to be 4 separate brackets of Gold, Tempered, Fighter, and Master. The winner of this race cemented themselves in the Master Sword bracket, so congratulations to you.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I'm not really sure how close it was or anything like that, but one of the biggest decisions that we made was digging Thieves Town. And
that sealed it.
it kind of was my choice because I was kind of going against Mentor's advice there on that one, but
what we're looking at on our side right now is Jabera did the front 4. Came back later, got the mirror, and mirrored out.
Oh, no.
So it still didn't get Samaria. So they're a fair bit, they're on a bit of an item hunt here. But you ended up kind of on the God route. Did it feel like that on your end?
Yeah, by the time we finished Thieves Town and started making our way around like the Dark World, did Hype Cave, and all of those, we kind of felt like he even said that we routed this right, my mentor. So yeah, it was a good route after digging Thieves Town.
I think you've only had one error, and I think that was just delaying Aga as long as you had. I think everything else was flawless in your flawless in your routing decisions there.
Thank you.
I'm gonna butt in and say that's never an error. I always delay it as long as possible too.
Yeah, I think the only thing I did not do was that one in the desert. So it was either that or doing Aga 1 at that point, and I just said I'm just gonna do Aga 1. It's probably nothing over there. I don't think I ever checked that cave or any of the other caves in desert.
I want to say it was 10 arrows for Gina.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was nothing notable.
Well, good. I made the right choice there.
Yeah, you kind of went for more of the efficiency route up until later in the game, but it really paid off for you being more efficient in your dungeon clears, being more efficient in your overworld as well, which your opponent is cleaning those up now. So
yeah, that's tough to have to have to mirror out of Thieves Town without getting the red cane, so that feels bad.
yeah, that's what we were saying as well. It's kind of we said that if it's the second time you're going in there, I feel like the dungeon should have got cleared, but we'll discuss that with them when they're all finished. That was our big part of diversions is you clearing it right on the first one and them having to come back.
Yeah, we figured that once we found those 2 items out of there, we're like, it probably would be a make or break kind of thing there, and it's not the first time Thieves Down has like had something important deep inside it that I've skipped before, so I kind of learned my lesson on that one, and that's kind of why I was like going against spelling Thieves Town until I got all the items out of there.
Yeah, we've been discussing it a little bit. You know, when do you go in? It's a pendant Thieves Town. Some people treat it as overworld, but I feel like getting that hammer right outside in Village of Outcasts, did that solidify it for you? Of, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah, that made it, because I mean, obviously it's I feel like sometimes these seeds give you signs, and that was kind of one of those signs.
Furious. Any thoughts on your end?
Muted if he's talking.
Oh, Furious may have stepped out. I apologize.
It's all good.
So going into your Ganon's Tower, did you have a route you were gonna pick, or were you just with the flow here?
I usually stick to the same route, but I've learned from a few players recently about that first room on the left side. Finding certain items kind of pushes them to the right side, but I haven't tried that method yet. I generally just go to the right side first, check those first two chests, then hit the rest of the left side. That's usually my strategy, but I might end up
Yeah.
changing that up.
Yeah, I like the hope left. I know we've had a lot of talk about like Dark Magician. I know one I've been trying lately is the Rando Rush. So basically going full left. I like it. It seems to be, you know, more checks faster, and that's something I know when I was in the mentor tournament, I kind of learned a strat and stuck with it, but I know a lot of the people that do well have that adjustability when they go into you know, you keep a couple things in mind. You know, if you get a key in that hope room, are you going right, or are you sticking with your original thought? So that's something to think about. But on like the mentee's end is, you know, learning the other strats and kind of going with your gut.
Yeah, I don't like doing the right side. I just hate having to like burn all those candles and go all the way down and then keep going down and, you know, having to go through all that. Also used to play in NMG, so the left side just comes more natural.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few mentees that have come from the NMG side, that it's just like, oh, the right side just doesn't exist because you don't touch those in that mode. Yeah. I know I originally came from multi-world, an archipelago area, so I was checking everything whether I needed to or not, and it was like, you're in go mode, let's go. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not checking this for that person. It's so it's hard sometimes to break those like muscle memories when you go from playing a certain mode into a different one, for sure.
Yeah.
But I will say NMG is really good for practice, for execution, and we do see that come through when we see these matches, and we see a difference between players who have done NMG and have learned the execution of these fights, whether it's low percent or not, and you know, and others that are still just learning these fights and can sometimes struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I know Algo, he's a really good NMG runner. I think he went undefeated in this tourney, so GG's to him. I learned a lot of NMG just from watching him and him, you know, helping me out and when I did some NMG, so I knew he was going to do well in this tourney.
Yeah, and I'm big on scouting, so watching VODs and knowing what you're going up against kind of helps making those decisions with like, is it safe to skip this? Would my opponent be doing this? Or would they be, you know, not skipping this part of the dungeon? Would they, You know, that sometimes that information can be good to help direct you when you're routing and when you're making those decisions later in the seeds.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna be curious to see how like this next bracket stuff goes with no mentor for some of these folks.
Yeah, I know just from having gone through it that it can be a little tough. It can be a little bit of a shock for you guys going into brackets here. Now you don't have that little voice over your shoulder saying, well, maybe I do it this way. But I can speak from experience. I still hear a Mr. Angry Pants in my ear every now and then. Why are you doing that, Scats? You know, whenever I do one of those, you know, silly checks, and I'm like, I just hear it like, all right. So, you know, I think that's one thing a lot of mentees have going forward is you start to think the way that we think, and you start to make the same decisions that we make, and you get that little mentor voice in your head, and I think that kind of helps you make your decisions without us there.
It even happens to me when I'm doing practices. I'm like, Wombat would be yelling at me right now.
I know last year one thing a lot of my mentees did is ended up going into co-op, like EMOC, Scanlore. I know they joined up with Bagel and a few of the other people in the that were coming out of the community and did some of the co-op stuff, and that's a great way to learn from people going past the mentor tournament. You get, you know, you partner yourself up with people that know a little more than you, and you can keep learning and keep competing.
Yeah, it's been a fun thing. I'm curious to learn other things like, you know, those cross keys and things like that. I haven't really dabbled a whole lot with those kind of flag sets, but I'm curious to play around with them.
Yeah, and you know, we said this before in one of the other Discord chats here, but this learning goes beyond the mentor tournament. This is just kind of an introduction and a way of linking people up, but the learning doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning. I know I went on to do like main tournament. We have the casual boots touring coming up if you want something similar to the modes that people have been running and you still want to get that competitive feel. So this is the good time to really get into it.
Well, and also just adding to that, I'm so sorry I just cut you off, Rando, but to add to it, like, the entire purpose of the GOMO podcast when it first started was to just teach people about the game to begin with, whether it was randomized or vanilla. And I know that it just has grown so much into not just the mentor tournament itself as the beginner tournament, but also the glitch mentor tournament that has been run here, helping out with Challenge Cup, can lead into league and main tournament and all that other stuff. So this is always a great first stepping stone, but there's so much that people don't even recognize that is in this tournament, Go Mode podcast in general, because they only see this as this is just the mentor tournament. Oh, this is just for beginners. It's like, not really. This is honestly a much more tight-knit community than you will find in Tark or otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, it's been a really awesome community. You know, all my mentors, I've had a few different ones throughout this tourney, and everyone's been super helpful and super nice. So it's been a great experience, and I look forward to continue to be a part of the community going forward.
That is awesome to hear. And yeah, as Cats was just saying, like, practice never ends. It doesn't matter what kind of extracurricular it is. Doesn't even matter if it's, you know, real life, just work stuff. Practice never ends. There's always ways to get better, and that includes just talking with other people in the tournament. Brackets is just another step of what it means to be a real competitor. You can always ask friends, and in this scenario, it's just going to be, you can always ask mentors on different advice, like how they would route something.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting too, like, you know, you never know, like, what the right decision is in Rando. Like, you can go with your mentor's advice or just go with your gut, and that's kind of what I did with Thieves Town tonight. So it could have went a completely different way if I would have failed Thieves Town, so it's decision making is something to learn for sure.
Jabra are finding their flute here, so they are at 1 hour and 58 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, nice. They are in go mode. I'm assuming.
Yes. Yep.
Alright. Yeah, that was nice to find the flute. In Turtle Rock, I was afraid I would have to keep digging the overworld and other dungeons that I haven't touched yet.
I will be the first to tell you I was rooting for Chaos. I was very much hoping that it was going to be a Ped Seed after a required Agazid.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the case for the viewer. They always want something to be hidden somewhere. I did check the Ped with the book right after Scold, so that was nothing. That was arrows, I believe.
Yep. Jabrera had checked it early when they were still looking for their mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you know your opponent has already hit the done button, don't you pull it for the fans, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
if the opponent's done already, I usually like pull for like them finding everything really quick and getting, doing a really good cleanup and finishing off strong. But
At 2 hours, you could be tilted. Not only are you then spending your time, as well as chat's time, but also your mentor's time. So I can see why you want to do it in a restream situation like this.
Yeah. Knowing that we like to let them finish their seed, and that is important, guys. Always finish your seeds.
Speaking of, what a climb by you.
oh, thanks.
That was a fantastic gauntlet into torches there.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a little bit cleaner with the Moldorm fight. I kind of screwed the arrow shots up there, but the climb is like one of those like NMG things, kind of, when you do it a lot in NMG, so get a lot of practice with those. I got some things I need to work on though, for sure, with the climb, but some rooms were good.
Yeah, that comes back to what we talked about briefly before, is just watching back videos and seeing where you can improve. If you're not on the restream, you can always find your opponent's VODs and time up your own post-match restream, just to kind of see how they made their decisions differently than you. And it's a great way to kind of improve yourself, and you can kind of do it passively. Just put it up on the side while you're either doing your NMG or you're doing your other stuff. Is VOD review is kind of a good way to just see from an outside perspective.
Yeah, it's also fun watching it back and getting to see everyone make fun of your silly moves and things you did wrong.
Yeah, I know early on in my mentee time, I would have VOD review up while I'm running a practice seed. And that was kind of how I would get ready for a match.
A good way to do it. Give it a shot. I definitely have learned a lot just watching some of the matches that have been restreamed and just some of the folks doing practice seeds and whatnot.
Yeah, especially early on, depending what like experience levels are coming into the tournament here, just watching the matches, you can learn just by watching some of the other runners. And that's not just for you, that's for other people in chat that might be newer to the rando, newer to learning, or maybe just not that as experienced as some of the other people that have been on the restream here, or that they've seen, is that you can learn just by watching these tricks over and over again how the setup is through experimenting with the practice hack and really just hammering out the tricks until you can get them consistently.
Yeah, I mean, I know it took forever for me to learn Diver Down, but when I finally got it, it was, I mean, it becomes easy once you finally learn it and practice it. The practice hack barely, it comes in handy for those situations for sure.
Coming back to the race itself, Jabera in Misery Mire. I know the beginning room there is one that NMG strats really help with those kind of room clears. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you coming from NMG have seen the differences. If you watch the VODs and you go back and look, the difference between somebody that's done NMG and has really put the practice in on the room clearing versus somebody that is still pretty new and may not have done those strats.
Yeah, I mean, that room's definitely helpful when you have beams for sure. It's a little bit different when you have to go about it a different way without beams, but it's easier to clear when you have them.
Yeah, I know one thing I push a lot on my mentees is using all your items, making sure that you just because you learn to do it one way doesn't mean you shouldn't learn to do it other ways with different equipment.
Yeah, I did get yelled at for doing the cutscene room here. uh, I
Yeah,
learned now that I'm gonna skip that room until last.
yeah, that's actually something I learned recently by watching races and stuff. Is to route it slightly differently because I was rushing cutscene before coming out here and doing the switch chest.
Yeah, that's just like an NMG habit, really. You're used to doing this dungeon pretty much the same way up until you find the big key, really. But I learned now that I'm gonna skip that cutscene until make that last check.
Are they lining up to try the rail clip there? It looks like.
That would be interesting. I don't think I've seen anyone do that yet.
Looks like they attempted it at least.
Yeah, worth a shot. I know that, like, I've spent some time in these races wasting time trying to learn tricks, and I feel like that's okay for a tournament like this. Of course, after a couple attempts, you might want to just not try it and then practice it later.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a good bit of advice. Is that especially when you're new and when you're learning, give it a try. And even in a practice setting or a race setting, give it a try. And if you don't get it, move on, and then you can come back and try it again with different gear set, or try whether it's a boss or a trick or whatever the case may be. Sometimes getting stuck on something costs more time than just moving on.
Yeah, for sure. I knew the first time and I didn't have Diver down yet. I tried it, but missed it a few times and gave up on it. But then I finally went back and practiced it and learned it, because that's when you miss those kind of things during a race, it kind of just gives you more motivation to practice it and learn it so that you don't do that again.
Yep, I had something similar with Icebreaker. I was struggling Icebreaker when I was a mentee, and it makes a huge difference once you get it down, and that feeling of just joy once you get those tricks to finally work.
Yeah, you kind of like look forward to those moments when you can actually use them. I hate going into Icebreaker or Ice Palace now without the cane. If I can't do the Icebreaker, I'm mad.
Yeah, you kind of get spoiled with the tricks for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, don't get.
All right, well that's Vitreous down, and a GT bound Jabera. We'll see which route they take. We know it is in the fire bar. I believe that's map chest room there.
Yeah, it wasn't too far down the left side.
All right. Now, when you're climbing the mountain here, either way will work, but it is usually faster to go through the TR portal once it's opened.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I did. But I got stuck with by one of them stupid rocks, but cost me a couple of seconds there. Now he's going the other portal.
Now, was there any trick that you learned through the mentor tournament here that just you don't know how you played without it before?
Oh man. I do like the Specky clip. Just being able to skip that room in swamp and not have to get the other key in that other room, I think is helpful. But Icebreaker is another one too. I mean, we already talked about that one, but like having to avoid a lot of ice palace just by skipping all those rooms is probably one of my favorite tricks now.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the bigger time saves too.
Yeah.
To answer chat, going through again, it depends what items you have, but if you have like a mirror and a hook shot, then going through Super Bunny Cave is going to be slightly faster because if TR is not opened, then you still have to do all the hammer pegs and all that fun stuff. TR is always faster. Is that true? Where's DDR Kirby? I think it's at least close to equal. Is at least what I learned was it's pretty close to equal if it's not open.
Yeah, I haven't timed it really. I know I used to do the same thing that Jabert is, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but I did the same thing he did before when I
Doing
did
the hook
not.
left.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's probably one of the first like routes people tend to learn to take.
As long as he doesn't bail on the left side here, he should be in good shape.
Yeah, that would be a different route completely. Pink Magician lives. And there's the big key for Jaber's side. Gonna grab that heart before mirroring. I don't blame him. So time to climb. 213, 14 for Jabera. Now, while he's doing his climb, just another quick shout out. Fury said to step out here, but big shout out to Furies for joining me on comms today. Fernap for doing the tracking, Bagel for doing our restream here, and we appreciate all the volunteers coming into the end of the Swiss brackets, all the mentors and everybody that does all the work behind the scenes. you guys rock and you make everything possible. And all of our mentees and the people at home watching, you guys make this possible too.
Yeah, I appreciate all the volunteers who did the reading streams and everyone that's done commentary, tracking, and all that stuff. Really appreciate y'all doing that and putting on these shows for us.
Yeah, the GMP community, like we said, is just, it's friendly, it's helpful, and we're always learning, myself included. I feel like even some of the guys that have been in it for a while, every now and then they're like, wait a second. You get mentees that come in here that just do their thing, and suddenly we have a new trick or we have a new route, and it's kind of cool. And you know what? To answer chat, I'm proud of you for getting better too. I love, the reason I do it is I love to teach somebody about a video game that I love. So that's why I'm here. That's why I do it. I found such a great community here that I decided I wanted to share that with others. So, and then you meet your wonderful mentors, you meet your wonderful mentees, and it just keeps growing.
The Gauntlet's putting a beating on them.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we start to see differences in practice, differences in, some people started at different points coming into this. I know when I came in, I only had played for a couple months.
Yeah, I know there's some folks like Alga and Green Cola and those folks, they look like they've already been doing this for years.
Yeah, and sometimes you have people that are returning, sometimes our runners take a second shot at it and still had more to learn.
Yeah, I mean, things change within the game. People learn new tricks and things too. I don't know, I think someone told me, like, was it one of us, Icebreaker or Specky Clip, one of them or so, didn't exist a few years ago. I can't remember which one it was, but
yeah, I mean, the more we break the game, the more you start to find these different things that can be used. And yes, thank you, Lumaga. Icebreaker was 2020. Specky was 2023. Thank you.
okay.
I was looking for the year. I knew Specky was very recently.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which one it was.
Specky was the year before my mentor tournament year.
Shout out to all the people who discover those tricks, because I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
I know from like a QA standpoint, just poking the game and pushing the bounds and trying to find ways to get out of bounds, to break things, to take advantage of the way the game and the mechanics are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it takes a lot of practice and a lot of different things to figure those out.
Yes. We've got our top minds in the lab 24/7 for your rando entertainment. Fun is enforced.
Oh no!
We have a Troll Dorm popping his head here. Yeah, the only thing about charging your sword, and I know there's secretly a sliver in somewhere around that is will agree with me that you don't want to lose control of your character, and doing the spins kind of gives you a little bit of an unpredictable loss of control there.
Yeah, I mean, with Temper, you only really needed to do one slash and then a spin. He got out of it.
All right, and now Jabber is on just my absolute most hated part of the game is agonometry. It's required math, and we don't like that here. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm good at pool, but for some reason this escapes me.
That was a good lineup right there. I remember that one.
All right, I believe we're down to one more. There we go. Getting the finish on Agatu. And we're gonna see them dropping in to their Ganon fight. And I want to give big kudos to Jabera for toughing it out and finishing this seed here. You know, especially towards the end of a tournament, it can be a little frustrating. So we understand, and I applaud perseverance.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's been a couple of seeds that I've wanted to just be done with, but push through. I always kind of learn something from those seeds.
All right, and just a fun little note there. The next phase, the Firebat phase, does not start until he kind of does the stand-up animation there with the trident. So if you're trying to get extra hits on him while he's transitioning there, you may lose out on a hit or two to that transition phase.
My Ganon fight was not the best. Practice that a little bit. But...
I felt it was okay, and I liked the foregoing of Torch Glitch since you had Tempers and Silvers.
Yeah,
Getting the early hit on.
that's kind of something else I've learned was like, because I mean that's obviously an MG habit. When you start running an MG, you always want to get the torch glitched, but if you have silvers, it's definitely not necessary. It's better to go ahead and see if you can get the first hit and get a couple of arrows in them first.
Yeah, having the execution from NMG is nice if you can get past the muscle memory of not, you know, of getting past all the NMG habits. All right, well, folks, thank you for sticking with us. Get your GGs in chat for Jabera with an official time here of 2:22:45. Oh, gotta walk across. Gotta walk across before you stop your time. There we go. 2:22. I think 45, 46. GGs. We'll see if we can get them in here for a quick questioning and how they felt about this last match here in the Swiss rounds. Yeah, GG's, and just very, very proud mentor moment of sticking it out when you got a tricky seed like that. And there we go. We are joined by Jabera. GG's.
That was
And,
brutal.
Yeah, good job on sticking it out though. Like proud.
I
mentor
almost didn't,
moment
to be honest with you. I was like, I feel like I just want to give up on this one.
But
Jeez,
we were talking about it, but your thoughts on the seed, like we will tell you that Thieves Town is definitely where things diverged. You know, Rando went and did the entire dungeon off the bat. you did that front for dip, which initially was a good idea. You came out ahead, having gone and done Aga earlier than Rando. You kind of were ahead in there, but that skipping Thieves Town. What were your thoughts on this?
I mean, yeah, I was just like, oh, I was basically just looking for items because we didn't have. I don't think at that point we had any crystal dungeons we could get into. So I was just like, what can we get to get ourselves in somewhere? And once we did, I was like, I'm just trying to find items and as quickly as possible. But yeah, no, I mean, I think I almost last located at least like 3 or 4 things, and it was just, it was a chain of, events. The Samaria, the what was it? The Tempered Sword at the back of Thieves Town for sure. Then what was the other item in Thieves Town? I don't even remember.
So you had a mirror. I believe
Oh, yeah,
it
in
was
front.
pretty in the front. Or no, mirror was early, like going towards attic. But then you had Samaria in big chest, and the blind was holding a sword.
Yeah, Brian was holding a sword because that certainly would have been helpful. Cold Stare when I lost track of how much health I had, that was brutal. Because then I had to go and get the bombs after the fact, and it was one of those things where everything that could have went wrong.
Yeah, and then what we saw you make the decision of, I got the mirror, and you left Thieves Town. How'd that feel coming back then
I mean, it was
after?
brutal.
Yeah.
But we made the decision. I was like, look, we're like, it's the same thing. I left one check in Swamp too, and I knew I left an item there, and I was like, if I